All right, welcome back. Kayode, you want to take your story?
All right, still on the news recap with this advice coming from the Minister of Information. The federal government has advised Nigerians traveling to Europe and the United States to take extra precaution to avoid being dispossessed of their belongings. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, gave the advice on Monday in Abuja at the 5th edition of the President Muhammadu Buhari Administration Scorecard 2015-2023 series. In an opening remark, Mohammed said the advice became imperative because of recent developments where Nigerian travelers to the U.S. and some countries in Europe were having their belongings, especially money and international passports, stolen.
Kenny.
Yeah. Okay, going down to the Abuja-Kaduna train services right now. In the meantime, the federal government has expressed 90% readiness over the commencement of the Abuja-Kaduna train services, just as the Ministry of Transportation, in partnership, on profiling all train subscribers. Minister of Transportation Muhazu Sambu spoke to journalists at the Rigasa train terminal in Kaduna shortly after a brief inspection of the Abuja Idu train station and the Rigasa Kaduna terminal, respectively. This was as he backtracked on his previous position to conceal certain security measures taken so far to ensure protection of lives and properties of Abuja Kaduna train subscribers following the commencement of the Abuja Kaduna train services in days.
Of train services between Abuja and Kaduna. A number of measures have been put in place in order to ensure that life and property will be secured when we resume services. And I'm satisfied with what I have seen. Of course, there are 1 or 2, 3 areas that need to be addressed, and we're going to address them immediately.
Okay, so the train is starting tomorrow, and Nigerians want to know, particularly security, the issue of sensors.
First of all, listen, madam, the issue of whether the train will start tomorrow, we have not said the train services will start tomorrow. I want to be very categorical.
All right, Abuja Kaduna train is starting again, and of course, the federal government said they've made adequate preparation for that to begin. But of course, it's not just about the people that would be using the rail right now. Mr. Fatoke, good morning. Joining us over the telephone this morning to discuss this resumption of the Abuja Kaduna rail is Mr. Aki Fatoke. Good morning.
Good morning, Tommy Singh.
Avika Kenny and Kayode on
Good morning and welcome on the show.
Kayode, good morning and good morning, Nigerians.
Mr. Fatoke, let's begin with how long you've been on the road this morning. Tell us quickly what exactly the problem is.
I'm supposed to be in an AC car, but I'm sweating. Sweating proof. And anybody in the axis of lawsuits need to have a rethink. The road has been blocked. You know, the traffic was all the way down, and I thought, okay, let me just do what we call some kind of a carrot, only for me to get to the junction of the Awolowo Road, you know, the along. I found that the road was blocked. People were just facing one another. So in the past 2 hours, we had to now turn back towards Lasut, thinking that we'll be able to take Tony. The whole place is bedlam. Horrible. Anybody in that axis, especially anybody that is having an emergency and needs to get to Lasut, needs to have a bit of a rethink. God help us. God help Nigeria.
Mr. Fatoke, let's talk about the resumption of the Kaduna rail line. I guess the problem in that Lasut area must be the construction work that has extended to the Obafemi Awolowo way this morning. I hope that the LASMA officials, the police, and whoever it is that is supposed to manage traffic in that area will tell us exactly how they would resolve this issue. But let's go straight to the Kaduna issue. The Kaduna Abuja train is resumed yesterday, if I'm correct. Yes. Do you think Nigeria is ready for that? And are we to feel safe?
Well, there has to be a balance now between commerce, economics, and life. Trust, deficit of trust, and then I'm not so sure we can beat our chests, like somebody will say, with my full chest out there and say that we have done all that needs to be done to engender safety. I must confess that since March 28, 2022, it turned out to be about 8 months exactly yesterday, the issue is the fact that a lot of monies that have been locked up, the asset is not being sweated, and I can understand that, and that is the easier part to understand. But we haven't put all the surveillance in place at the Edo station, for instance, and then the other one in Kaduna is just been more of trying to ensure that we do customer profile. And before you board on the train now, you have to get your phone and your name, and if you are an underage, somebody has to buy that for you. I am not aware that the CCTV cameras are on. I know they will be on, and there will be secret cameras, but in a situation where you have challenges with power and outages, one has to be on one's guard. That is one. Secondly, the minister talked about the fact that the surveillance contract is still in the works. Where is the money going to come from? Is it budgeted? Is it been appropriated at this time? I think basically what should happen is to genuinely under a competitive bidding contract this out to private concerns who will be able to help us do the manning and ensuring that on the desk of the minister himself he can see far and wide. In all fairness, we need to be a bit balanced here. I think I commend the Minister of Transportation. They've done a little bit. They've done some training to the train drivers. They can see a bit farther than ordinary. We are proposing that there should be an emergency response whereby for each of these trains there should be a fully manned coach who will be able to counter guerrilla tactics for nothing less than 30 minutes. And they can always call for reinforcement. So it's a balance, I dare say, and what I would like to say, as we say it in the private sector, in the oil industry that I had worked, is that we have to do more of a bit of testing. We have to do something that you describe as mystery shopping. What does that mean? You just create a situation where you see where you can get security lapses, security breaches.
Okay.
You just tread at it, whatever, and then see how much of it can be compromised.
Okay, but Mr. Gatuga, sorry to cut in there. We're looking at the current strides of the country, the federal government, in tackling insecurity. In recent times, the Nigerian Army has recorded quite a lot of success that they've made, let's say public, telling us how they bomb here, do this here, do that here. Do you think that sustained, with this kind of experience, do you think sustained bombardment on the enclaves of the insurgents would bring an end to this particular anomaly, simply because Kaduna itself is in the eye of the storm? Kaduna is the state that has experienced one of the most let's say, one of the highest rates of kidnappings and all of what comes with it since the days of Bono?
I must say that I join you and join well many Nigerians to commend the military. They are working against all odds, and lately some of the successes that they have recorded is quite commendable. But I dare say that this far, even the land mass and the landscape of what we have witnessed in the past 10, 15 years, terrorist attacks, kidnapping, it will still be too little, perhaps a bit late now. I would like to say that we need to deploy more of technology to our military, more of the droning, and then the participation of the citizens to be able to profile and give intel information. And when that intel information is given, how it is processed and deployed is a whole mass of trust issue that I think we need to get into. Sociologists will tell you that the only way to resolve what we have on now is get a booming economy and get employment life. People who are not going to school, people who are out of school, and all that kind of thing. We need to have a holistic way of looking at it. But then, where we are at now is good slide. It has to be sustained. We have to have our armed forces, not necessarily in uniform, who will be doing more of the intel, the police. I am particularly happy about what is happening in part of the southwest, or your state, for instance. The Amotekun thing, initially we thought it was not going to be able to get into a lot of mileages. I think other geopolitical zones should borrow from it also. Community policing, and ensuring that at all costs, you and I join and give all the things that needs to be given to police. Let's take cognizance of the fact that whatever is going on in our environment, we see a strange face, ask questions. We see a strange thing, speak up, and all that. There is no way the security architecture will be able to protect us all, God being on our side.
All right, let's take a look at this next one. I think my story has to do with the judiciary. It's all over the pages of the papers this morning. The federal government has assured the judiciary that better days are ahead for the third arm of government. You know, for a while they've been talking about autonomy and, you know, not having the executive pay them what is due. The Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, gave the assurance of the special court session, at the special court session of the Supreme Court to mark the commencement of the 2022-2023 legal year and the conferment of the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria to 62 recipients in Abuja on Monday. The minister expressed high optimism that the recent approval granted by President Muhammadu Buhari, in addition to increment of salaries and allowances of judicial officers, will usher in a new lease of life and impetus for the judiciary to operate maximally in a more beneficial and rewarding environment. This still comes down to the executive paying the judiciary.
Oh, talk is easy, talk is cheap. Let me say that up front.
And Mr. Latuke, I also want to add this to it before you speak further on the topic. I'm just wondering, isn't the chief judge of the Federation and the NJC, aren't they supposed to be the highest ranking judicial officers? Why a political appointee?
Those are some of the jigsaw that we need to put in place so that we can resolve the maze that we are in. I mean, 2 steps forward and 4 steps backwards will take us nowhere. I was making the point, I think I agree, and I sympathize with the Chief Justice of Nigeria, who still has made it clear that the judiciary is still not as free and unfettered as we expect. I know governments over the decades have made some form of attempts at tinkering. But I think constitutionally, judiciary should be free de facto and free de jure. It should not be begging cap in hand, expecting that the governor or the president will be the one that will be making those nominations. It shouldn't really be. And their pecuniary, the monetary, what have you, Mr. President, I just promised a new lease of life. Good kudos until I see it work. As we say, kuru. It won't be a situation where at the end of the day, Mr. President gives an approval that certain things will be done, and then the Federal Minister of Finance might be looking for the money and be saying that it's not been appropriated, or the National Assembly asking one or two questions. There has to be a consensus item where everybody now then agree that the judicial officers, like a judicial commission, and nomination into it should be free and unfettered by political and political influences. That
All right, let's go to Abuja and listen to the Attorney General of the Federation.
yes, in the past 20 years, in the past 20 years, I must confess, our political and democracy is finally determined by the judiciary. You begin to wonder why this is a democracy. Why do we go for election? Why do we have political parties when it's only the courts that will adjudicate at the end of the day? And so, more reason why they need to be independent, more reason why they must be seen to be independent, more reason why at the end of the day, they're going to be a bit harsh on them if they don't give us and dispense justice truly and fairly.
Mr. Fatuka, let's quickly listen to the Attorney General. Some of the speakers yesterday during the swearing-in of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria that took place in Abuja at a special session of the Supreme Court.
Available facts on judicial activities in various jurisdictions across the globe still emphatically confirm that Supreme Court of Nigeria remains the busiest and most hardworking Supreme Court in the world. It is on record that we work from Monday to Friday every week. We conduct sittings on daily basis. It's only on Wednesdays we do chamber sitting to consider non-contentious matters. On Fridays, we deliver judgments and rulings. I remain eternally grateful to the Almighty God for strengthening and giving us the tenacity to accomplish the much we do on a yearly basis. We are humans and equally have blood running through our veins. If no one praises us, we have the inalienable right and obligation to praise and eulogize ourselves. Self-praise is no villa, an offense, than self-denial.
Since the inception, this administration, in line with its commitment to promoting rule of law, has accorded top priority to the funding of the judiciary. Hence, we have ensured a progressive budgetary allocation to the judiciary, which has seen an increase from 73 billion in 2015 to over 130 billion in 2022, and a further increased sum of 150 billion has been proposed for 2023. In addition to the foregoing, we have provided special interventions when the need arises, particularly in meeting the huge cost of running election tribunals. We have supported legislative enactments, including constitutional alterations to support the independence and funding of the judiciary. We will continue to do more.
All right, Mr. Fatuke. The Senior Advocate of Nigeria About 62 of them were appointed yesterday, in addition to all of these other issues of autonomy that we're talking about. Do you see this, improving, going by the fact that the Supreme Court today just mentioned that it is overwhelmed, has about 6,884 cases?
Well, again, as you always say, a little bit here, a little bit there can help, but we really need torrents. Congratulations to the sons that have just been taken on, but we need more. Even the few that we have, the kind of technology and longhand writing of cases in places outside rivers and Lagos State, I think should be extended to other parts of the country. I also believe very strongly that adjudication for political disputes, election disputes, coming at this time as we move towards 2023, my prediction is that the courts are going to be much more extremely busy. I hope we're not going to get into a situation where we are not going to ask more and more of these officers, some of them who have kind of retired, to come out of a bit of retirement and give capacity training to more and more of our lawyers, the bar, and the bench, so that we'll be able to cope. I foresee where we are going to have a torrent like flood, and we don't have a very good dam to be able to control what we have on hand. I dare say there might be trouble. But the real panacea is for all of us, political actors, to get our acts together, understand the norm of the law, do our internal as much as we can, do as much as internal, so what that eventually gets to the court will be something that we dispense with. A situation where winners must take all and the losers will no go green kind of thing will not help us. We must be all inclusive. We must support our judges. We must know that they are going through a period that the workload is horrendously heavy. We must support them. Thank you, Mr. President, for what you thank the Attorney General for what you have said. I hope to see more of this in action than in words.
All right, Mr. Fatuke, I want to say thank you. A little bit told me that you have something up your sleeves this morning in your school. I wish you all the best. And of course, when you come next week, I hope you're going to be giving us the gist about what it is. So congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much. That is Baptist Academy Youth Association.
Yeah.
We will be opening a big structure that was donated to school by Mr. Governor this morning. We're so very proud of it. Thank you very much to CMI TV and the media for giving us all that will make us to aim for the skies.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fatuke, for being with us on the show this morning. It's been an interesting conversation with an elder statesman, Akin Fatuke, as we discussed, some of these issues in the news recap. All right, we'll take...
and I must say that, Chief Justice said, I'm trying to remember that word now. Nigeria is the most litigious control something. You people like to go. Oh, please be going so that brothers like
no, but the thing is that Ola Daniels will be making money. You people should keep going to court.
No, but the thing is that who are those going to courts? We have too many political matters other than you find parties, even parties within party, party within party rather. Go
especially in this
1 million and one cases within themselves. Parties against parties, and all of that. Not common man like me and you to me.
We will settle our matter without going near any lawyer. All right, we'll take a break on this segment. When we come back, we're talking about Osun State and we're shining the light on the new executive orders of the governor, Adeleke, who has been in the news since he became governor on Saturday. We'll be back.